Morning children. Today we will start photosynthesis chapter. So as we know, plants are autotrophs. Autotrophs means they can prepare their own food. Plants are the only living being, the green plants are the only living being which can prepare their own food using inorganic substances like carbon dioxide and water vapor. So we know photo means light, synthesis means to make. So they make their food in the presence of sunlight by using carbon dioxide and water vapor. This process is called photosynthesis. In this process, we get oxygen as a byproduct as well as glucose, which is used for food for all. Okay, so photosynthesis is the process by which living plant cells containing chlorophyll produces food substances, that is glucose, which is stored in the form of starch from carbon dioxide and water by using light energy. Most of the time it is sunlight. Plant release oxygen as a byproduct during photosynthesis. Okay, photosynthesis is very important, children, because its importance is that it provides food to all plants and animals. We get food directly or indirectly because of the process of photosynthesis. Secondly, it provides oxygen to breathe in. We know we all living beings, we cannot survive without oxygen, and photosynthesis is the only process in the world, in the whole universe you can say, which produces oxygen gas which is used for breathing. Okay, now only green plant can prepare photosynthesis. The reason is they are having chlorophyll, the green pigment. This chlorophyll, it is present in an organelle, cell organelle called chloroplast, which is present only in the plant cell. So let's see the structure of chloroplast here. So we can see this is chloroplast. It is a double membrane structure, inner membrane, outer membrane. Okay, so it is a double membrane structure having outer membrane, inner membrane, and the ground material, the liquid with which it is filled, it is called stroma, and it has got stack-like substance. You can see these stacks or sacs, we say. It is one single one is called thylakoid. All of them together we call it grana. Okay, singular granum, plural grana. So a single thylakoid like this and all the thylakoids stacked together, we call it grana. Different granas, they are joined together. Different grana, they are joined together with fret. This one is fret, or we also call it fret, it is written, or we also call it lamellae. So chloroplast is the organelle in which chlorophyll is present. Now the question arises, where is the chlorophyll present? So chlorophyll is present in the walls of thylakoid. This thylakoid, its wall, it is present. Okay. Now if you write the overall reaction for chlorophyll, children, we see that this is the overall reaction for chlorophyll. It is 6CO2 plus 12H2O gives C6H12O6, that is glucose, plus water plus oxygen. Never forget to write light energy and chlorophyll here. If you don't write light energy and chlorophyll, you will not get marks. So we use 6 carbon dioxide, 12 H2O, we get glucose, we get 6 H2O and oxygen. Now this 6 H2O which we are getting back in the product side, it is not the original water which is taken. This water is reformed during the process of photosynthesis. Now we have written it in a single line. Okay, but it does not take place in a single step. It is a multi-step process. So we will see about the different steps of photosynthesis. Initially we can divide it into two, light dependent phase and light independent phase. As the name suggests, light dependent phase means it is dependent on the light directly. Most of the cases it is sunlight. And light independent phase, it do not depend upon the sunlight directly. It indirectly depends upon the sunlight because it is using the substance which is produced during the light dependent phase. Okay, so now let's see what happens during the light dependent phase. During the light dependent phase, we can just divide it into step 1 and step 2. So let's see in step 1 what happens. Activation of chlorophyll takes place. Now we know chlorophyll is needed for this particular process. So the chlorophyll, it gets activated. How it gets activated? When the plants are exposed to sunlight, when light falls on the plant, on the leaves especially, they absorb this light in the form of photons. Photons are the small unit of light. Okay, they absorb light in the form of photons and they get activated. Once they get activated, what they do? This energy, this solar energy which is taken in the form of photon, it is used for splitting water molecule. Splitting water molecule into hydrogen ion, electron and oxygen. Okay. So this particular process, it is called photolysis. Photo means light, lysis means to break. So here light energy, it is used for breaking water. So we say it photolysis. As a result of photolysis, we get hydrogen ion, we get electron and we get oxygen. So this oxygen is the oxygen which we all living being use. It is given out. Normally when we see the reaction for photosynthesis, we feel that oxygen is coming from carbon dioxide. But actually in photosynthesis, oxygen comes from water, not from carbon dioxide. Okay. So now what happens? We have got H plus ions, electron and oxygen. Now using these things, one more thing to remember, this light dependent phase, it takes place in thylakoid. Why it takes place in thylakoid? Because thylakoid contains chlorophyll and it also contains enzymes which are needed for light dependent phase. So light dependent phase, it takes place in thylakoid, or you may say it takes place in grana also. Many thylakoids makes one grana. Now what happens? Using the hydrogen ion which is given during the photolysis of water, there is a compound in the leaves called NADP. NADP, the full form is nicotinamide adenine dinucleotide phosphate. Okay, this is another energy rich compound, just like your ATP. In fact, this particular compound, it gives you more energy than ATP. So what happens? Using this H plus ion and electron which was given out during photosynthesis, during photolysis, this NADP, nicotinamide adenine dinucleotide phosphate, it changes into NADPH. NADPH is addition of hydrogen is taking place, so it is reduction. So it is reduced nicotinamide adenine dinucleotide phosphate. Oxygen which is released, it is given out, and another energy rich compound is present in the cells, that is called ADP, adenosine diphosphate. So in the presence of electron which is released during the photolysis, this ADP, in this ADP one phosphate is added, inorganic phosphate, which we write it like this, P and small I. It changes into ATP, that is adenosine triphosphate. This process is called photophosphorylation. Photo because it is taking place in the presence of light. Phosphorylation means addition of phosphate. So ADP changes into ATP. So children, at the end of light reaction, what we have got? We have got oxygen which is given out. We have got two energy rich compound, that is NADPH and ATP, due to electron and hydrogen given out during photolysis of water. Now you must be thinking, where is carbon dioxide here? So let's see what happens to carbon dioxide. It comes in the second phase, that is light independent phase. Now in light independent phase, you can see this summarizes the whole process. So here you can see what is happening. You can see here hydrogen, oxygen, electron, water is breaking. Then ATP is forming, here NADPH is forming. Now using this ATP and NADPH, using the energy present in ATP and NADPH, this carbon dioxide is forming glucose. Okay. So the carbon dioxide, it is forming glucose using this energy. You can very well see ATP again changes back to ADP and inorganic phosphate. NADPH again changes into NADP and hydrogen. And using energy which is released when the bond is broken, carbon dioxide changes into glucose. and this glucose is stored in the plant in the form of starch. Okay, during daytime glucose is produced, and during night time this glucose is polymerized. Many glucose combine together to form starch. So plants store glucose in the form of starch. Now a few more things to remember here. The carbon dioxide acceptor. When carbon dioxide is converted into glucose, something should be there to accept carbon dioxide. So the carbon dioxide acceptor is here, RUBP. Okay, what is the full form of this RUBP? Ribulose 1,5-bisphosphate. Bis. Okay, don't write bi, it is bis. Ribulose 1,5-bisphosphate. And again, this carbon dioxide changing into glucose, it is not taking place in a single step. It is again a multi-step process. We call it Kelvin cycle, based on the name of the scientist Melvin Kelvin. So Kelvin cycle is a number of steps where carbon dioxide changes into glucose. That is beyond your syllabus, so I am not going to tell you that, but just remember the first product which is formed, the first stable product which is formed here, it is PGA, that is phosphoglyceric acid. So two extra thing to remember is the first stable product formed is PGA, and the carbon dioxide acceptor is RUBP, that is ribulose bisphosphate. Okay.